Water Climate Control. From heating and AC installation and repair, commercial or residential, when you choose Blue Water Climate Control, we offer solutions, not a sales pitch. Blue Water Climate Control. Veteran-owned, superior service.
Hey,
there's Alexis.
what's up, everybody? What's
Look,
up, Maria?
man, there's 2 Marias.
I see that. I'm trying to figure it out real quick.
I'm gonna do it for you.
All
I'm
right.
gonna do it for you. We were just starting the little ad things. We don't lose people wondering where we are as we sit here.
Yeah.
And
Alexis, you just broke my heart wearing that hat, by the way.
I know this is my brother's favorite team. I was just about to give y'all the backstory, Carter. I just been at Dollywood all day with my brother, sister-in-law, Sandra, my 3 nieces. So that's a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And it is hot as Hades outside. And I didn't bring a hat. So
Heels, man. I don't know why it's not letting me. You may have to change your own name. Let me try again.
I can, but it's not letting me. But let's go ahead and thank the rest of our sponsors while we're ahead, or did you already do that?
No, we just had the Blue Water Climate Control commercial. Alex, if you can. Oh, there you go. Alex changed it. Now you're Buck.
Whoa. Put an IS on that. Alexis changed it, Maria. Alexis.
Oh. So you changed it? Okay. Sorry. It wouldn't let me.
It's all good. It's all good. Carter, let's roll through our sponsors. Definitely want to say thank you to Terry Holder at Orange Mountain Designs. Make sure you go to orangemountaindesigns.com for all of your official Lady Ball gear. Next up, we have Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball. I am currently offering and opening up to new clients for personal one-on-one lessons, small group lessons, elementary tomorrow, 6 p.m. At Carnes High School, 6 to 7, and middle school, 7 to 8 p.m. at Carnes High School. Also, we have the Gold Standard Fitness and Sports Performance Training. Our girl, Jamel Johnson, my co-host on Monday nights from the Collective Unfiltered. She is also taking new clients. She is based out of Atlanta. So make sure y'all hit her up. Nelson Garcia, Just Pass It Tutoring. Go to justpassittutoring.com for all of your mathematical needs, K through 12, or if you just need help studying for that PSAT, SAT, and ACT prep. So thank you to all our sponsors. Make sure you go check out volunteerroadshow.com. Remember, a portion of our sales go towards Sam Strong. So, Maria, what do we have today?
I just want to first say I love your hat. Everybody knows I'm a Tar Heel native. So
yeah. I like the colors. I've always liked the colors. And Jordan, there's some benefits to it. There's definitely some benefits to it.
Well, I'm assuming you no longer do this show indoors, so you're always in a new location. That's a nice log cabin behind you.
Thank you. We're in Pigeon Forge. We've been here for a few days, just a little family getaways. First time since, all the COVID stuff that we've all kind of just been together outside of their house. Thank you, man.
Cool.
They're eating stuff.
I want to start with the WNBA, and I know Alex has a clip he's going to show. I haven't seen it yet either. We'll both be surprised. Alexis, I know you've been on vacation, so you may not be following, but there have been a ton of injuries to start this season.
Yeah, I saw CP.
Way too many injuries.
I saw Angel McCoughtry going through the same thing she went through last year. I saw CP and her ankle injury. Is that all that I really?
Diana Taurasi has a small crack in her sternum. How do you break your sternum playing basketball?
That can happen. I mean, elbow to this, if you're hit just at the right time with the right amount of force, trying to run through a screen, possibly catch a big man's shoulder. Or elbow going up for a rebound. I mean, there's ways. It's
like getting locked up. Maybe Renee Suter said locked up. You could get locked up with somebody like locked arms and like you said, going for a rebound. Jasmine Walker was the latest today. She tore her ACL. That's a rookie out of Alabama.
Mm.
Yeah. And Candace, of course, with the ankle. She put up a photo of it on Instagram too. It looks like an ankle.
Yeah, it looked like a high ankle sprain as high up as that swelling was going, which is never good. It takes a little longer.
No, that's like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But Alex, if you've got a video of Alexis in the WNBA and you want to roll it, you go right ahead.
Let's see what we
got. Absolutely. I've seen this clip many a times, but it's pretty good. You know, talking about the WNBA, so I just thought maybe it'd be all right to show. And I'll give you a little hint. Maya Moore. If you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite defensive plays for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
If you can hit the full screen version, I don't know how you do that.
Oh, let me get it back to. There we go. Is that full screen? Does that look good?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Here we go. Oh my God.
What a great block by Alexis. Hornbuckle comes in from the other side, all ball, but she lands on the baseline.
Boom.
So possession stays Minnesota.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my defensive plays throughout my WNBA career, for sure.
Okay, Alexis, walk us through a block. How much is timing, anticipation? It's like a cat, man. I mean, that is cat-like reflexes up there.
You're definitely thinking a couple plays ahead. It's important to see ball see man. That block came out of help defense. So my man was actually kind of at the top. So I was already kind of right 1 foot in the paint below the free throw line. And really just watching, like, you have a player like Maya Moore, who's a tremendous scorer. You know, when she puts her head down to go, my 1-year-old niece back here wants me to say hi to her. But you know, she's going to get a bucket, right? So I saw that she kind of was a little bit past Candace Dupree, and I just went to help. So yeah, it comes down to timing, anticipation. It's not always about how high you jump. You know, obviously the higher you jump, probably the prettier blocks you can have. You can have a little more fun with it. But if you have good timing and you can kind of anticipate how that person shoots, what angle they're about to shoot from, you know, are they constantly shooting layups over their head? Well, that's kind of easy to just get a hand on it from behind versus them, you know, sticking their butt out, keeping you behind them and finger rolling it in front of you. Those are tougher to block. Coming from help side, if there's a driver and you're in help side, you have to decide early, are you going to take a charge or are you going to go for the block? And once you make that decision, it comes down to timing and, you know, knowing whether they're right hand, left hand, the type of shots they like to take. Do they hold it? Do they double clutch? Do they throw themselves into you? So it goes down to, you got to have a little bit of a high basketball IQ to be a good shot blocker. You have to have great timing. And you just have to have a, like, kind of a knack for it and a want to do it. Like, I always liked blocking shots even as a kid because it was fun to me and embarrassing to them. So it was even more fun to me.
It's one of those things where I know you got to guard against getting a technical, but you want to show emotion. I mean, if I did it, I'd get a technical. I mean, I'd be celebrating so much to actually block somebody's shot. But how do you sort of keep that? I mean, you can't taunt, obviously, but how do you sort of react when you do that, but make sure you keep it, you know, in between the whistles?
I think it depends on the game and how close it is and the atmosphere and what's on the line. What type of game is it? Is this a regular season? Is this a play-in? Is this a tournament game? Is this a final series? Because the higher the stakes, the more the energy, the more trash talking I'm going to do. It just comes with it. In that particular case, we were losing, so it was a great block, but it didn't change the outcome of the game. So to me, I didn't feel like getting too hyped. That was that calm, kind of cool and collective. I look like I've done it before, right? But if that was, you know, a play-in situation or a tight game, I probably would have grabbed it and said, "Give me that," while I was taking it out the air. And me being a little bit of a butthole, sometimes I probably would try to give the ball back to Maya instead of the ref. Like, here, you forgot this, you know? That's what it comes down to. I've literally, before I've touched the ball, and I've seen many people do this, our shot blocker, go up and say, "Thank you," or "Give me that. That's mine." Like just literally almost having a low key conversation. And in my mind, if I'm that player, I hate that.
Do you remember Dayton? I think it was Marist that Candace Parker block, or it was one of those volleyball spike blocks.
Oh,
and
yeah, it was
Marist. Was it the Are You Serious? Do you remember that?
Yes. That I remember that. That was definitely a volleyball spike, 10-foot line. It was straight down. No way. Like those, as a teammate, you get hyped, but it's like you want to laugh because you like, oh my gosh, like that was nasty.
I remember Dean Lockwood told me once, he said, guys get their shot blocked, they don't care. That's okay, I'll go up again, get the ball. He said women get their shot blocked and it's like they're hurt. It's like, he said, it's like they like, and I remember a game against Connecticut. I know Renee Montgomery's your buddy, but I think Candace blocked her and she just went into a shell for that game for a while. So what's the difference? I mean, why is it so hard if you're on a female to get your shot blocked, and why do guys, can they shake it off?
Well, girls are more emotional, so females are more emotional in the whole, like way more sensitive. I find that out even training girls. Like I'm like, toughen up, but that's just not their personality, their characteristics, and their feelings get hurt. Like it's embarrassing to get your shot to a certain degree. Like if you go up for a really good take and it's just a great defensive play, those don't hurt as bad. Those are kind of you brush it off and you're almost as if like, yeah, you want that. I want that again. I'm going to come up to you again. If I'm going to what I think is an open layup, right, and I get my shot completely tossed out the air, I'm going to be, not me in general, but overall, females are going to be a little more hesitant on getting to the basket and taking those shots in the paint. Guys are like, oh, you blocked my shot, I'm trying to dunk on you next time. And there are a lot of women players that are like that, but that typically only comes to those select few, that small percentage that are probably your top collegiate players and, of course, most of your professional athletes. But even at the professional level, especially overseas, you still run across that. Like overseas, I score as many blocks as possible early in order to deter them from trying to get the easy buckets, or at least think twice about it.
But I get it. If I got blocked, I'd probably cry just because they probably put me on the floor too. Candace, I said Tamari Key this season, she was out there taking people's souls with some of these blocks. And Trey Tharp said Jordan Horston always has some words after she blocks the shot. Love it. Yeah, you got to say something. There's just that line, right? You can't cross. What crosses a line with an official after a big block?
Get the F out of here. Give me that S. Any cuss words, basically. Anytime they can hear you cuss, that's almost going to always warrant you a take. If you block them and they hit the ground, that stare down, step over them, that's a tech.
Yeah. I saw, I think it was Tierra McCowan. I think she got away with a throat slash one time that the officials did. Yeah, that's probably going to do it too.
Oh, yeah. And what's crazy is, to me, that shouldn't be a tech. Like, that's just like game over. Like, it's a wrap. Like, I don't know. I get there's a fine line between trash talking and, making it to the point where you're actually coming into somebody's character or attacking their mind. I get that. But at the same time, basketball is an emotional game. It's an up and down game, not just the possessions, the emotions, the energy that takes place on every possession. That's why teams that come out with high energy, they're more physical, they're more aggressive. You see them to tend to control the game earlier and longer, right? Versus the ones that come in all timid. It's because they're pumped up. Like, so when you start to take that away from the game, I don't know. I don't agree with all of the little ticky-tack technicals for taunting.
And it probably depends on the crew too. You know which ones will let you get away with a little more and which ones won't.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We talked about scouting the officials. Y'all got to look at them too, and then you start getting an idea how the game will be called.
Oh, for sure. Every player that plays knows that when they go into a game, when they see that certain official or 2 or 3 that says, "Oh, I'm going to have 4 or 5 fouls," or "Oh, I know I'm fouling out today," or "Hey, y'all, don't say nothing. This ref is quick to throw text." That absolutely happens, Maria. I agree with you.
Let's switch sports for a minute, and people in the comments are welcome to weigh in too. Obviously, softball was a disappointment. They lost in the regional in Knoxville, lost to James Madison in the final on Sunday. Struggled to get a timely hit. Struggled pitching in terms of having, just getting through a game. Personally, I don't think Tennessee looked the same after it came out of that COVID pause. So I certainly understand how COVID can affect a team. But I also know that not being able to hold your home field in terms of losing in a regional, not getting to a super regional, that's tough too. And it's tough for the seniors. It's tough for the ones who took that extra year because of COVID and now they're done. But I was just curious if for people who were there, I was just watching on TV. Donna Hairston said, "I was there and it was awful. They didn't look the same." I would agree with that there was just something missing when that team came out of that COVID pause. And I never want to speculate about anybody's health or what happened, but it looked clear to me that there were players that weren't at 100%. Some of that could also be injuries by the time you get to May. But Alexis, how do you bounce back from that kind of disappointment? And, radio talk shows and all that, they're doing what Tennessee fans do. They want a coaching change because that's all Tennessee does is change coaches. And
not at softball though.
It's true. Donna Hairston said Ashley was hurt too. Yeah, Ashley Rogers, the primary pitcher, clearly did not look comfortable Sunday in her game. But Kathy, some of the seniors can get an extra year, and I think some already took it when they came back. But I'm not 100% certain of that. I think there were 3 players that are done, that they already took that extra year when they were seniors last year and opted to come in. I don't think, but they may get an extra one too. I don't know. That's a good question. The way Karen Weekly's post game talk, she was talking about 3 players who we wouldn't have this same team ever again. 3 players were done with their career. But I mean, Alexis, how do you bounce back from that kind of disappointing loss? Man, that's a long time before. It's January before you play another, or February really, before you play another meaningful softball game.
I think because you have that gap in between your season, you have to give yourself time to rest mentally and emotionally and, of course, physically. But go back, watch that game. Think on where you feel like you fell short as a player and where y'all fell short as a team. And, give yourself a solid week off. And that means like no cardio, no pounding. Like, okay, if you want to lift lightly or, ride a bike or something like that, that's fine. But allow your body to rest. Evaluate what went wrong, whether injuries or no injuries, right? Coming back from COVID or not coming back from COVID, what didn't we do? But most importantly, what didn't I do? And then take that throughout your summer and tweak your summer workouts. I'm not talking about the ones with the team. The extra work that you do on your own or that you do with other teammates on your own, tweak that workout to maximize whatever that weakness is. Let's really work on it. Let's really pull it out. Let's really expose this and put the reps in so that this is not a weakness. And when it comes down to whatever it is, I'm no longer a liability. I think it comes down to accountability, pushing yourself to a limit that you haven't been. Like, you better be pissed off about the situation that happened. It happened at home. How can you avoid that from happening? That's all you got to figure out, Maria. That's all you got to do. Get a good amount of rest. Maybe you need 2 weeks. Fine. I don't suggest taking 3 or 4 because you start to create those bad habits of not working out, and it's easier to get out of shape than it is in shape. So take you a week, maybe 2, watch the game, talk to your coaches, find out what they expect from you next season, and go to work.
And I want to thank Amanda and Donna pointing out, I have no concept of time anymore since this pandemic. It's like one long day. They actually lost 2 games Saturday. They obviously beat Eastern Kentucky Friday, then lost to James Madison, tossed in the losers bracket, and then lost to Liberty and didn't make it to Sunday, which is even worse because now you got 2 teams, not Tennessee, playing on Sunday in your ballpark. So yeah, it was a unexpected and tough ending to the season. Donna Hairston said a lot of mental mistakes. That happens when a team is not firing on all cylinders, because particularly softball, which it's not like basketball, it's not fast paced. There's a lot of time in between pitches, and there's a lot. The mental focus it takes to stay fully engaged in a softball game is different than the mental focus in a basketball game where everything's moving so quickly. I would love to see that. That stadium needs renovating too. It's
already.
Yeah, it's too small. It was nice when it opened and they put in some bleachers and right field, but it just seems like it's just gotten too constrained and baseball needs it even more. Obviously, Lindsey Nelson, but Amanda said it seemed like they were trying to ride Ashley's arm like they did Monica Abbott. They were asking a lot out of Ashley, and unfortunately, pitchers like Monica Abbott, those are generational pitchers. You just don't get many like that. The closest I've seen is probably Montana Fouts at Alabama. I mean, she could apparently pitch 300 innings and not even look any different. So Donna Hairston said, yes, it does. Saw a virtual tour of Liberty Stadium, which is nice. Yeah, Liberty should not have a better softball stadium than Tennessee. It could be just as good, but Tennessee has to quit paying people not to do their job, and then they can get these financial things sorted out. But we talked about Washington last week, the team that got their 16th seed and just walked out. Yeah. They threw a no-hitter in their first game against Seattle. Nice. Or maybe it was the second game. God, don't ask me to determine what day I was watching a softball game. Then Michigan took them to 2 games. They advanced to their super regional and went down 5-1 in the second game that they had to win and came back and won it. So they are headed to the super regional where they get to face number 1 Oklahoma in Oklahoma. So to try to get to the College World Series, but I don't know. I've become a Washington fan just to keep up with what they're doing, because that was just such a beautiful move to just not a word up, walk out of the whole show.
That's confidence to me. See, people might see it as cocky. I see it as confidence. Like we talked about on last week's show, they felt disrespected, like to the utmost, and that was the most respectful response they probably could have given. Could you imagine if somebody had a mic on them? I think that them just up and walking out was the most respectful, confident decision. Like, let's just let the game be the game. We don't really care about where you got us at right now, because clearly y'all don't know how to see people properly. So let's go show them. I love it.
A 16 seed. Donna Hairston said JMU pitcher was a beast. She pitched a lot. She did. And she's one of those double players. She pitches and hits, which is unusual in softball. Alexander, I think her name. I can't pronounce her last name. I'll mess it up. Alexandra Osicki, maybe. That could be so far off. So, Alexis, go ahead and do the sponsors again, please, because you did it so well last time, and I'll just mess it up.
I got you, Maria. All right, Carter, let's roll into these sponsors one last time. We have Orange Mountain Designs, where for all of your Lady Vols sorts. Since 2008, Terry's been holding us down. Go Lady Vols. Go to orangemountaindesigns.com for your latest gear. You have Alexis Hornbuckle basketball. For any and all information or how to contact me, go to alexishornbuckle.com. We also have the gold standard fitness and sports performance training. I'm sorry, Boog, if you're watching this, don't beat me up. I butchered that a little bit, but she's taking new clients in Atlanta. She also has some of her online stuff still up, but go ahead and go to thegoldstandard.com. Also, go to Just Pass It Tutoring for your K through 12 mathematical needs, PSAT, SAT, and ACT prep. Our guy, Nelson Garcia, and also, of course, Blue Water Climate Control.
Renee Suter said if downtown builds a new baseball stadium in Knoxville, could softball be built where LNS is, meaning Lindsey Nelson Stadium? I think Tennessee's going to want an on-campus baseball stadium as opposed to playing it in a multi-use stadium. I also am not sure that while I could see a new baseball stadium in downtown Knoxville hosting NCAA games or a regional or maybe a super regional, I'm not sure Tennessee would want to put its entire home schedule there. I've also seen concept plans for when they first talked about renovating Lindsey Nelson, and it looked nice. It had seats, really nice seats going fully down the lines, and then with suites behind them, and then the outfield area was a double deck of party area and open area, sort of like they have now where you can rent out space. So if you can get the money to do it, I think you could bring Lindsey Nelson up to par. Amanda said it's Odyssey Alexander. Thank you. I was in the ballpark barely on that name. I just remember she pitched well and she could hit too, which was interesting to watch. So
hey Maria, so I didn't get a chance to watch this, but I did read about the whole thing with the Connecticut Suns head coach and Liz Cambage for the Aces. In case y'all don't know what happened, during the heat of the game, the coach, I think his name is Kurt Miller, he was basically trying to ask for a call, and it was against Liz Cambage, and he basically told the ref, like, come on, ref, she's like 300 pounds. The response was he got fined and suspended for a game, and she felt disrespected and went off. I want to know how you feel. As you know, it's basketball, it's sports, it's a competitive thing. Would this happen on the men's side? How do you feel? Is it because, like, how do you feel, Maria? So many questions.
Yeah, I when I heard it in context, I don't think it's a comment you direct at any athlete when you're talking about their weight. I mean, I've seen some overweight and she's not overweight. She's she's big. She is in great shape. And I would not want any athlete, amateur or professional, to have a comment directed about their weight to an official. I think it's inappropriate. I can see in the heat of the moment what that coach may have been thinking, trying to tell the ref, how can you call that foul? She's so much bigger than us. I think when you say she's 300 pounds, and I think she only weighs 225, so he's off by 75 pounds.
Yeah, I think she said she like 230, 250, something like that. I forgot. She put her weight and everything out.
It's something I think you have to be careful saying. I get, if a player said it, I think there's a little more grace there because players talk smack to each other. I'm not sure you should be saying that about an opposing team player if you're the head coach. Okay. But I'm open to any interpretation of it.
No, I mean, I agree with you as well from coming down from a coach's perspective. But I just think in the heat of the game, he was just referencing like he was being a little extra because he probably felt like the calls they were getting or weren't getting was extra. I definitely don't condone it. I just don't know if, I don't know, she really felt disrespected. Her response in the public eye definitely stated that when she said she's a proud, big, B word. But my thing is, once you say that and then say, I'll never let a man disrespect me ever, especially a little white one, now you threw in race. Right? So now you're throwing shots. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that in that case, don't commit the same thing you're complaining about.
Thank you. That's all I wondered. I was having this conversation with my brother too, so he agreed. Pretty much said what you said, but yeah,
we've got another one you may not have heard about. It happened this morning. Chicago Sky coach James Wade, who's a black man, filed an official complaint after an official spoke to one of his players and used the expression, "Hey, explain to your boy." Now, we all know that boy is a derogatory term to direct at a black man. I also have heard that expression, "Hey, tell your boy," but still, you've got to measure the words that come out of your own mouth.
Right.
And this wasn't a time to be using some cultural expression, even if you meant it because you'd heard it. Or I looked at the officials, and it was an all-white crew. I didn't recognize any of the names, so I'm not sure. And the stories I read did not say who made the call. But I think you have to avoid loaded terms like that. 300 pounds directed towards a woman, that's a very bad idea.
Absolutely.
Using the word boy in any reference to a black man is going to be interpreted as a racist remark, whether you meant it that way or not.
Absolutely. I did not know about that one, but yes, you can't do that, period. Because number one, it's that's reckless. I'm sorry. That's reckless. Like every educated person knows what that means, to black people, period. Yeah, I don't even know what I would have done if I was a coach in that position, to be honest.
He didn't hear it, but his players heard it, and he saw the exchange. He could see that they were talking. I mean, at that point, all you say is, "Hey, go explain to your head coach." You don't fault. I mean, it falls in the category of white people should never say the N word. I don't care if you're rapping it or you're being funny. It's not your word. Coming out of a white person's mouth, it's inappropriate. Period. It's not your word. Don't use it. So even if this official thought he or she, there was one female, two men, was using a colloquial or a funny expression or a cultural expression, don't do it. Be better.
Yeah, be better. I like how you put that. Simply put, very simply put.
But so we've had two cases now. One's an official, one's a coach, but now Liz, I mean, she's going to speak her mind too. I mean,
absolutely.
I think she's going to be playing for her national team. So Trish said not impressed with Liz. Is it Cambage? Liz Cambage. Cambage, Insta, but happy to see Miller reprimanded. Yeah, you just don't do that. Harrison said, think before you speak. Amanda said, no doubt that Liz is a tall girl who is in shape and she is physical, but what he said is totally inappropriate. I agree, particularly with women athletes already having issues sometimes with body image and eating disorders. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, it definitely shouldn't have been said. The suspension, the fine, all necessary. So it's good to hear that we think a lot on that, alike on that sportsman side of it. But yeah, Liz's response was funny, but definitely inappropriate. Like you said, you can't be asking for something and then throwing out the same type of hate, in a sense. So yeah, well, hopefully that cleans up. Coaches, don't do that, especially male coaches when you're coaching women. And this could happen. A male coach talking about an NBA coach saying that to an NBA or about an NBA player to the ref probably holds, like 0 point in any type of any chance of them being reprimanded. Guys, my brain is tired. I think it's literally like fried from the sun.
It is. It's 90 degrees in this area. It is hot.
Yeah, I've been at the park since like 10:30 this morning too.
William Wink Smith said, I don't think it was about a weight. I think it was someone saying you're as strong as an ox. That doesn't mean that does not mean you are as strong as an ox. I do think the official was trying to, the coach was trying to create some physical mismatch in his complaint, but you don't drop the 300 pounds. You just got to, even in the heat of the moment, you got to choose your words better.
Yeah, like a specific number, and he rounded up like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he put like a half a person on top of her. So,
oh man.
I know you've mentioned you're doing one-on-one training. I just want to mention most of Tennessee's camps got canceled in June. The majority of them did. The elementary and the middle, Tennessee decided not to have in-person indoor camps. I believe baseball and softball are still okay to be outside. I could argue that either way. I understand hedging on the side of safety, but they will have 2 elite camps, June 27th and July 26th. Now, elite camps are still open to other people. You don't have, it's not an invitation only. You could sign up if you're a high school kid. Now, there is space limitation, so I just want to let people know if you're interested in elite camps, then the Lady Vols will have 2 of those. At least they will be able to have 2, and I would imagine that will be a limited attendance so you can space out correctly. I'm not sure how you teach camp spaced out, but
stations and good help.
But just remind everybody again of what you're doing, because you are capable of obviously getting access to various gyms and one-on-one, and let people know how to find you to get their kids doing something this summer besides sitting around watching television or playing video games.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm going to be in the gym, sometimes be out on a field, because I am also a certified personal trainer. So it's not just basketball. But if you go to alexishornbuckle.com, you can find out exactly how to reach me, what number, what email, what opportunities I am offering at this present moment. Again, every Thursday, I can't say every Thursday because after tomorrow, we'll have to move the days a little bit around the Carnes schedule. So group lessons at Carnes tomorrow. Elementary group, it's 6 to 7 p.m. at Carnes High School. Middle school group is 7 to 8 p.m. at Carnes High School. Also, camps, clinics, all those schedules will be up by the end of the week. So be sure to tune in. Send your kids. They're in good hands. They might come back more disciplined. They probably will, or quit. But either way, we're going to have fun. They're going to learn a lot, and they're going to basically have a chance to get from in front of that TV and off of those games and off of their phone and stay active throughout the summer.
Beth Edwards asked, will recruits attend the camps? And the answer to that is yes. I won't go into specifics, of course, because Alexis is considered a booster of Tennessee as an alumni. But there will be kids. I would expect kids in 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 to be at those assorted camps. Tennessee is doing very well with getting its recruiting organized and reaching out to multiple prospects in upcoming classes. And Joy McCorvey and Samantha Williams have done an incredible job of basically you've got to get organized. You got to get organized, get your recruiting databases full, get your target. You know how it is. How you were recruited, you understand you've seen kids get recruited. So much is coming at them. The coaches, everybody needs to get on the same page and make sure you're delivering the same messages
Oh yeah.
And offers. I do think a lot of offers have been made. I will always caution people, and I'm not talking about any specific offers that have been made this month that we've seen on Twitter or the last several months. There are offers, and you know this, Alexis, there are full offers, like we will take you if you commit right now, and there are conditional offers where we will take you if so-and-so does not commit.
Right.
And so you can technically say I was offered by so-and-so. It may not be a full offer, because sometimes if you start just looking at all the offers, and I know football does this because they know they'll lose half of them. It's like you got 50 offers. You can only sign 25.
Right.
So it's hard to cut through all the details of recruiting, but some are obvious ones. and you can tell from the talent and who's looking at them. When with certain kids, they tweet an offer, it's a full-fledged, we will take you this second if you want to commit kind of offer. But I'm avoiding names because I'm not going to put you in any type of unusual situation.
I appreciate that.
I am sure the baseball show will talk more about it, but if you missed Tony Vitello's post game, I've got a little Twitter snippet that the WATE news producer put out. Tennessee lost a game to Alabama in the worst imaginable way in the bottom of the ninth inning when they scored the winning run. And to break up the double play, Tennessee runner slid hard into second base. As someone who has followed baseball, played softball, it was a beautiful slide. It was in the base path, going to the base. As he came down, his hand hit the groin area of the Alabama player who was coming down to make the throw to first. Well, his throw was high. The Tennessee runner was safe, so the runner who was on third scored, no double play, ball game over, Tennessee thinks. The umpires get together to review it and call the they call runner interference and call the guy out at first. Tennessee goes on to lose in the 11th inning 3-2. So Tony, in his interview today, they asked what happened, and he goes, he told me he hit him in the nuts. I mean, he just said that over the and there's clips all over Twitter. This isn't our basketball related show. Texas A&M is probably going to make a run for Tony Vitello. Tennessee, do everything you can to keep him. Pay him. You can pay all these people not to do their jobs. Find a way to pay Tony Vitello to do his, please. He is the best thing that has happened to Tennessee baseball in years, and not just because of his post-game press conference today, which was classic.
Awesome. Did y'all catch that? Make sure y'all catch that. Also, make sure y'all keep supporting us next Wednesday. We are good to go, 7 p.m. Volunteer, roadshow.com, or Twitter, or Facebook, or YouTube, or any of your podcast platforms, major podcast platforms for audio podcasting availability. Also, Maria, take us out. Tell the people thank you. I thank you, Maria, for keeping us fresh, keeping us entertained, and always giving us the best of the Tennessee sporting news, not just Lady Ball basketball. So thank you.
I've got one last thing for you, and I'll let you answer, and I'll close it out. I do want to point out the players are coming back this weekend. They will all check in this weekend, Monday. School starts next Tuesday, including the freshmen, the graduate transfer. Alexis, let's go back to freshman year and you getting dropped off at Tennessee. I mean, I've seen all kinds of reactions. Parents are crying and hugging them. Kids are crying. What were you like when mom and dad dropped you off at Tennessee and left? What was your reaction?
Well, my experience was slightly different because I had to go a couple days earlier to get a heart catheterization done. So they didn't just, drop me and or help me unpack, and then that was it. We had that. So that had my nerves up a little bit. But after that, I think I probably went and partied that night. I'm not lying. And probably had to work out the next day. But yeah, I was like, I'm free. Yeah, that's how I felt.
That I would expect no less of you. Amanda said, will all the newcomers be on campus next week? Yes, they're all everybody's expected to report, I think, by Monday. I think some will start rolling in this weekend. So they will be here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll let Alex get ready for the next show at 8 o'clock. We'll be here next week, which is June 2nd, I think.
June 2nd.
Yes, June 2nd. We'll be back next week. As always, go Lady Vols. Support former Lady Vols. Shop at OrangeMountainDesigns.com. Get your tutoring done this summer.
Yep, just pass it tutoring.
And we will see you guys in a week.
Thanks for watching.